So can you all see my screen? Okay, okay. So good evening, each and every one of us here on this call. I really appreciate you guys' response and prompt to meetings, and I believe that after the classes you'll be able to understand. Basically, we're actually treating UX research, like doing research on how to do a research, the process that it requires to conduct a profitable research for a particular company or for a particular product or for a particular problem. So basically you're going to be understanding the different kind of research and the different methods that actually goes into conducting a research. So if I'm talking too fast, you can actually let me know. You can speak when I'm talking too fast. Or if you can't hear me or hear a background noise, you can actually speak to me. Hope we're all clear on that. Are we all clear? Okay, okay, okay. Please, I would love channel bonus response. Okay, let's try to talk right now. Okay, okay. So I will starting with what is user research. So don't worry if you can actually flow with the slides. The slide will be provided to you on the Slack channel in the resources channel. The the slides will be provided to you so you can actually read after the class today. So user research basically is an investigation of users in order to gather insights to inform the design process. So basically, one of the design is that user research is actually one of the design processes. So it assume a particular startup company wants to conduct a particular research for a particular product. If they're not making sales or they want to create a particular product to solve a particular problem. Let's assume now, okay, um, people are actually having issues getting inspirations. Let's say creatives actually having issues getting inspirations. So you as US researchers, you conduct interviews, create user personals to actually know what people are actually going through. And from those responses, you actually create your own digital product to solve those problems. An example is this. Let's assume before actually before e-commerce actually went digital, we're actually buying our products physically. We actually go to let's say supermarkets, the mall to actually get our products. So designers actually came up with a platform whereby people can actually order their products online. Now a research was actually done on this before they created the product. So you as a researcher, you conduct research based on people's response and based on what you have seen so far. So basically, you are solving problems. You are solving problems by creating digital product or physical product. So those are the two ways of it's either you create a physical product or you create um, a digital product. So basically, there are two different types of research. There's qualitative and quantitative. You can see from the slides. Also, so qualitative. What is qualitative? A qualitative research is the process of collecting and analyzing non-numerical data in form of opinions, comments, behaviors, feelings, or motivations. It aims to give in-depth look at human behavioral patterns. So quantitative research takes a deeper dive into why. So it answers the question why. Okay, people are actually finding it difficult to get a particular product from the mall. Most people actually find it very, very difficult to actually take a drive, let's say 5 millimeters drive to the mall to get a particular product. Let's say I want to buy um, a ketchup and I'm so lazy to actually go to the mall to buy a ketchup. So you as a researcher, you know that okay, people are actually finding it difficult to actually buy a product physically. So you do a research by okay, why is this happening? Why is this happening? So quantitative research answers the questions why. Let's assume a particular company is not actually they have a digital product a mobile application. Now, this application has been there for like 4 years, 5 years, but it's actually not making sales. It is not actually having the quick feedbacks they expect after launching this particular product. You as a researcher, you conduct research to know why this is happening. You will find out, okay, why is this company not having sales? Why are they not making sales? So you conduct research based on this problem. Basically, as a UX researcher, you are solving problems. Yeah, you are solving either a digital problem or a physical problem. So those are the different ways you can actually solve problems. So that's quantitative research. It answers the questions why. Answer the question why. The second type of research is the quantitative. Okay, this is an example here. This is an example here. So user research, researchers work in these users' shoes. So you as a researcher, you work in the your user's shoe. Okay, let's assume now. Okay, as a researcher, you must not put yourself as an example. Let me explain it better. Let's assume you are conducting a research for a particular company. You feel like, okay, the pain that these people are actually going through, what pain are they going through? That's why we have pain points. Pain points. I'll go into that in more details in this class. So you as a researcher, you put yourself in your user's shoes. Okay, let's give an example now. I said a particular company is actually having issues making sales. Now you'll be like, okay, you test the application, you yourself, you test the application and see why people are not actually using this particular application. Why are people not buying from this particular application? This is an example of a e-commerce um e-commerce web application, an e-commerce application where you buy your clothes and shoes. Now, you go into the application, you see some fault in that particular application. Most times, that's why UI design is different from UX. UX, you do more of user experience. Now, UI, you deal more of user interface. That has been treated in the first class by one of the mentors. So basically, you as a UX researcher, you conduct research, you put yourself in the shoes of the users using this particular product. Can you hear me? If you cannot hear me, if you're still following, we can actually speak. Okay, okay, very good, very good. So you put yourself in the shoes of a user. So basically, let's say a particular digital product has been launched and they're not making sales. You create a research, you do research by testing this application. So that's why we call it iteration. So you actually conduct research. Okay, I know why this particular product is not making sales. So I'll move to the next type of research, which is the okay, this is another explanation. I've already explained all of that. Okay, so this is the process. So in this class, okay, let me just say this. There are two types of research: qualitative research and quantitative research. So I've posted the resources in the resources channel for conducting research, place of conducting research. You can actually read everything because basically I can actually go in depth into research as a whole, but what can make you kickstart your UX research career, that I'll be able to help you with. The basic knowledge you need to understand, creating use questionnaires, empathy maps, pain points, and also information architecture. That I'll help you with. But you still have to read. You as a designer, you have to keep on reading and reading. Do you understand? So this is a flow of how research works. So first of all, you conduct a user interview. You know who your users are. Before doing any research, you have to know, okay, who are the people that are using my product? Is it a pregnant woman? Is it a 40 years old man? Is it a young boy? Is it just name it. Just make sure that before conducting a research, you have to know who your users are. If you don't know who your users are, when you're conducting your interviews, people will be giving you different responses, and that will not actually help you in your research. So, first of all, before conducting, most of these things I'm saying now is not on the slides. So, but if you If you read those resources, you'll be able to get all what I'm saying right now. So I can't actually put everything I'm saying now on the slides because it's gonna take a lot of time. So basically, you as a researcher, you have to first know who your users are. From there, you'll be able to conduct research. Your user is interview based on the people you have actually you already know already. Let's assume, okay, people that do use my products now are pregnant women. So people I'm going to meet is pregnant women. I'm going to go to meet pregnant women and ask them questions based on a digital product or a physical product. So I'm going to ask them questions. Why? Okay, why is this problem? What are you facing? So things like that. That's a user interview. Now, the different ways of actually conducting user interview is either you create questionnaires or you do it physically. You can either do your user interview physically or online. But basically, it's actually advisable to most times do your interview live if you have the opportunity to do so, or you do it online. But you can't use phone calls. That will naturally look professional. You have to create a Google Meet or you create a Zoom call and also record the call as well. So moving forward, empathy map. Empathy map, this is where you separate. It's in four sections. Okay, I think it's okay. Empathy map, yeah. So empathy map. So this is collaborative visualization used to articulate what we know about a particular user. So all your findings, the research you have done, the user interview you have conducted from your users. Now you break them into four sections: the says, the thinks, the does, the feels. In the center, the user. So most times you can interview, let's say, two, three, four users. You can interview like five users, you can interview like 10 users, depending on the in-depth of your research. So you can have like 15, 50 interviews, but basically you don't have to interview like 50 people. No, 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 no. That will be very, very difficult for you to handle. So you can interview, let's say, two, three users, then also create a questionnaire that will go outside that you can send to your friends, to your neighbors that actually using your particular product. So that would be a general research. They can have a personal interview with two or three people, two or three users, then ask them questions. So based on the questions you have asked them, they'll give you answers. Those answers you got from your users, you're going to divide them into four sections. We're going to be having the says, the thinks, the does, the feels. The says, let's assume now, okay, I find it difficult to go to the mall. I'm lazy. I don't like going to the mall at all. I don't like waiting in the queue to actually get my products. It's very, very difficult. That's the say of a user. Now thinks, okay, she thinks going to the mall is very, very difficult. That's the thing. She thinks that's what she thinks. That's another one can be, okay, she thinks using a particular product is difficult to use. That's what she's thinking about. These things will be available to you when you're conducting your user interview. If you do it very, very well, you'll be able to get piled up answers to these four sections. Does, okay, what does she do? What does your user do? Okay, she goes to work in the morning by 4 a.m., she gets back late at night, find it difficult to go to the mall due to laziness. Let's say she's tired when she comes back from work. That's what she does. She goes to work by 4 a.m., she goes to the gym by 6 a.m. Those are responses from your users. Now, feel, okay, she feel tired, frustrated using a particular application. She feel lazy to open the application. So just put as much as you can put into this empathy map, but just make sure that they're in the right section because each section takes you to a new section. So if you don't do this particular section very, very well, you won't be able to answer the next section very, very well. So each section, the user interview, empathy map, pain points, ideas, user personnel, each section is very, very important. And I note this, this process is not compulsory. It depends on what is the end goal of the research. Also, this process can be repeated severally just to reach, okay, there's a mistake there, your goal. So you can repeat this process just to make sure you get the right response from your users. I'm moving to the pain point. Okay, now, so we're moving like a train, like a chain, like a chain. So you move from a user interview to the empathy map that has the four sections. Then you have the pain points. Now, user pain points, I would say, are the problems, frictions, and bottlenecks user experience during their relationship with a product. These pain points can be directly or indirectly related to the product. Now, pain points, I simplify it as the pain of a user. Let's put it in that short form. The pain of a user. Let's assume a product is being launched. You get responses like, okay, this app isn't working. That's the pain of a user. The login section is not working. And now I'll be like, okay, the login section is taking me to the sign up section, which is totally wrong. That's why we as researchers, we are very, very important in the UI UX industry. We are very, very important. So if you don't conduct your research very, very well, it will actually affect the digital product at the end. And research does not end at all. After a product is actually launched, research continues because you have to keep improving on your product to make sure that your users get the best benefit from your particular digital product. So pain point is basically the pain of your user when using your product or when facing different problems. If a particular company that was that has a physical, let's say a physical company wants to transition into a digital company, so they want to go online, they want to have a website, they want to have a mobile application. So basically you have to create research. You know the pains of your user. You ask them questions. Okay, why do you want to do that? Why do you want to move into a digital product? That will be in our last section anyways. So basically pain point is the pain of a user while using a physical product or while using a digital product. So idea this is where ideas comes into place. So basically, like I said, quantitative research is like a chain. Most times it's not compulsory you use this exact chain. Let's assume a startup company, you don't, let's say a company has been established already. It's not compulsory you go through this chain, exactly this chain. It's not compulsory. Most times you can only do user interview for a particular product that has been launched. It depends on what you want to achieve. What is your end goal at a particular research? Before you start a research, you must have an end goal. You as a researcher, you can't just say I want to start doing research just like that without having an end goal. You must have an end goal. Okay, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this research? Why are you doing this in the first place? So that will help you while you're actually meeting with your users. Okay, you know what you want to get from this person, so you ask them the right questions. As a researcher, you have to ask the right questions. You don't ask wrong questions. If you ask the wrong questions, you get the wrong answers. But if you ask the right questions, you get the right answers. That will actually help you in your research process. Hope I'm communicating. I've been talking for a while. Nobody's been talking. Hope you can all hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, okay. All right, okay. So you can actually ask your questions after I'm done with the presentation. Thank you. Okay, so I'll be moving to the idea aspect of the chain. So this idea prioritization is divided into four sections. We have the low effort, we have the high effort. We have the top phase, we have the low phase. The low phase this time is turned around anyways. So we have the high effort, we have the low effort. Now, the low effort consists of low impact, high impact. We have the main section. You have low impact, high impact, low effort, high effort. So after conducting your research, doing your user interview, doing your empathy map, doing your pain points, now these very ideas come into place. Now, in this idea section, you are actually breaking down, you're trying to solve, okay, from these pain points. Now you actually know the main pains that users actually facing. So this pain points now, okay, like I said, the pain point comes from the real pain of a user. Now, how to find this pain of a user? You can actually get them from the empathy map. Like I said, from your user interview, you break what's the answers you got from your questions. You break them into four sections: says, thinks, does, feels. Now, from these four sections, you're going to get your pain point. You get your pain point. Certainly, if you do your research very, very well, you get your pain points from this empathy map. Then from the pain point, you put it into a different section in a field. Then you move into the idea. Now, these pain points are problems that your users are actually facing. These are the problems that your users are facing. So you as a researcher, you are born to solve this user problem. That's what you are here for. Now you have to come up with ideas to solve this particular user problem. So you come up with different ideas. Okay, I'm tired. I can't go to the market to buy something. You as a researcher, what can I do to solve this person's problem right now? So you come up with ideas. Okay, um, let's create an application that can help this user order a product online. That is a solution. That's an idea. That's an idea right there. So you bring in as much ideas that you can put into the board. Bring in a lot of ideas. No idea is stupid. No idea is worthless. Bring in as much ideas that you can think of. No idea is actually, even a stupid idea is actually much more useful most times anyways. So this idea is where you this part is where you come up with different ideas. Let's add this button, let's add this, okay, let's add this particular section. Let's assume it is actually a launch application or a launch website. Let's add this particular feature that will do this. Let's add this or remove this. So basically, you are trying to solve problems by coming up with ideas, different ideas. Most times, research is done by two or more researchers, depending on the team you fall into. But most times, it can be only you. So you have to come up with different ideas. But most times, I don't really advise researchers to actually come up with ideas alone. Work with a team. Work with someone that actually understand the field of UX research. So they'll come up with ideas. They'll think with you. As a designer, you have to think. You're born to think. If you're a designer, you have to think. So ways of thinking, you come up with your own ideas. Now you break down your ideas into four sections. You break down your ideas into four sections. Do later, do now, don't do, do next. Most ideas are actually no go area. Some people will actually come up with ideas that does not follow the chain of the problem you are trying to solve. Remember, I said as a researcher, you have to have an end goal. What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to get? What problem are you trying to solve? You have to pen that down. You have to have a documentation of what you are trying to achieve. Let's assume there's a particular problem. You can't say someone has a problem with going to the market to buy. I don't know. I like saying this market stuff. Anyways, that's fine. Okay, now having an issue to go to the market. You can't say you want to create a fintech application. You want to create a banking application to solve that person's problem. That is a no go area. That is, you can't bring an idea of a banking app into a shopping application, that an e-commerce application. That is a no-go area. So that's why we have do later, do now, don't do, do next. So you as a researcher, you have to pen down a full, simple, straightforward documentation that contains your end goal and the problem you are trying to achieve. First of all, you come up with, write down your problem, the problem that users actually going through if you have them already, and also the goal. What is the end goal? What are you trying to achieve? Okay, I want to know why people are not buying this product. Let's assume it's a physical product. Why are people not buying my product anymore? Why are people not actually using this application anymore? Why is there low response? Basically, most times you as a researcher, you work with product managers and also work with the stakeholders closely, very, very well. So moving forward, let me explain this part. I'm talking too much. Okay, do later. It has a low impact. is a no-go area. Do later basically when you come up with ideas, they are future ideas. Okay, do later is like, okay, let's say in the nearest future we look into this particular idea, we look into it. Okay, it's not really impactful right now, so we'll just later. So basically, most companies, their main focus is to make sales. That's the main focus, because a company that is moving from a physical company to a digital company wants to make sales at the long run. So you have to come up with ideas that are impactful now, are very very impactful now. Don't come up with ideas that has low impact. So you break down these ideas into four sections. So now the do now is something you are going to be implemented at the very long run, at the instance, in the particular application or a web application. So once you have come up with ideas, okay, you put them. Let's assume, okay, you want to put a button, a particular feature. Users putting a feature of um this, how will I put it now? Okay, making payments. Okay, let's say in a particular e-commerce website, people have to make payments online. That is compulsory. That's an idea. That's an idea. So you come up with an idea of, okay, users can actually see different products online on their mobile application. That's an idea. That is a do now. That is a do now. Then do next. They say tomorrow. Next, after this one has been the past, after doing the do now, most times you check your application, there's an update. Let's say in a month, it's 2 months time, 3 months time. That is because researchers has actually penned down the features that will be done in the later. So you have to come up with features that should be impactful now. They also come up with features that can be impactful in the later level. Let's say in a more concise level. Let's assume the company does not have enough funds to actually run the application. So you come up with some features that can actually be impactful to the company at that very instance. So you have the do next, you break them into different sections. Do now, do next, do later, don't do. Like I said, you have to have an end goal. So when you have an end goal, you'll be able to know which is impactful at that very instance. So from the idea aspect, you okay, user personnel. So basically, user personnel is a fictional representation of your ID customer. So basically, user personnel is like a documentation of your user. Like I said, you can't interview everybody. Not everybody is your user. Not everybody is it. Let's assume let's say a maternity application. Let me say maternity application. Let's assume, okay, a fitness, let me say which application should I use now? Okay, let's assume a fintech application, a banking app, a banking application. So your users are people. You can't go to a user, a 10-year-old child cannot be your user for a banking application, because he or she does not have an experience with a banking application. So you go to people that actually have an experience with, that have used a banking app before. So that's your user. So now a user personnel contains the name of the user, what the user does, the pain points of the user. So this is an example here. This is a user personnel. This are this a simple a simple and straightforward user personnel. So it contains the name of the user. There are different kind of user personas actually. Depends on how you want it to be. There are different kind of designs. Depends on how you want your design to look like. We're all designers, so you can come up with different styles. But let's make sure that your user persona is actually straightforward and contains vital information, the goal of your user. Every user has their own goal. Because as far as if I have a problem, I want a solution. I want a solution. Okay, now frustrations too as well. Every user has their own frustrations. Now, bio, okay, who know who this user is? What does she do? Is she a student? Is she a banker? Is she a married woman? Is it a man that just gave birth? That just like let me see that just got married yesterday. So these are vital informations researchers have to have at the back of their mind. Do you understand? So okay. let me go to that. So that's the user persona as a whole. So that's all for today. So tomorrow we're going to be having a practical section tomorrow. So we'll be going through um the